Hello and welcome back to Plague Tale Innocence 90% tutorial. Today we're gonna do chapter 4, which has a new strat, which apparently isn't a new strat, but it is a new strat for me and for PC. So this is the first video that will be different from my world record run in terms of the tricks used. And I'll try to explain the new trick as best as I can. Of course, I'm not completely certain about it. There's been some new changes recently, but I'm glad because this is one of the hardest chapter. Here I get these two things because leather is always nice to have, because you need for Luminosa. In any case, up to this point, you just have to walk. No big worries. And here we get to the first glitch of this chapter. People used to do a name clip here. I like to get the checkpoint because it's safer. We have to get through these bushes right here, out of bounds. People used to use this log and aim clip out. I use this bush basically as you come here. There's this light, this bush here that is lit up a little bit. I use that as an indicator to where to clip through. This is the bush just after the one that is lit up. I use to clip through. I just use a standard dodge clip there. There's actually a new type of dodge clip that people are just starting to use now, which is a forwards dodge clip. I find that going backwards for this dodge is the most consistent for me. It's very easy, but it really works in many ways. Afterwards, we just go through here, just straight on from where you clip, basically. We want to get to this house there, just skip this whole part. This section is actually kind of dangerous because you can clip into the void, you can fall into the void in some places. I like to dodge there because once I fell into the void, and it never happened again, but I don't know why it happened, so I always dodge. Here it's a very dangerous place actually. Basically there's like invisible slope thing here that you can go on here to get inside in bounds again. You can get stuck in many ways. I recommend you try it a bunch of times. You can get stuck in the geometry there, you can fall into the void. It's invisible, so it's very hard to explain where it is. If you do it with confidence, as I said, I always recommend confidence. You usually can make it by just going forwards or diagonally like this towards the corner of the roof there. Yeah, sometimes things can go wrong. I recommend playing around with it a little bit. Here we get to the divergence from my world record run, current world record run, hopefully not forever. There's a whole section over there that is arguably the hardest of the run, but actually there's no need to do it. So actually we're gonna clip out here. You can do it with a backwards dodge clip right here, but it's a good place to talk about the forwards dodge clip. It works like all the other dodge clips, though, just dodging and aiming towards the place you want to go to. But in this case we dodge forwards rather than backwards, as we usually dodge backwards. I find that it works best to either forward dodge and then go straight like laterally in either direction. Actually better on the left side if you're going laterally, so like this, or aim and go backwards and right. That's the two directions as of now that I find most consistent, but the timing is a little bit different. I found that unlike the backwards dodge, which I found you can basically just start aiming at any point, I don't think there's much of a difference with this forwards aim dodge, especially the one where you then go backwards and and right like this. It's better to wait until Amisha does this. She lands on the ground again, as you can see there. She like jumps and then lands on the ground. If you wait up to the point where she lands the ground to start aiming, and moving again, I find that it helps a little bit. So basically, you can clip through basically any of these parts, but I find it easier to clip a little bit on the left near this thing, and do like this. Now I've clipped through, as you can see, but I have left Hugo behind, which is a problem. You can't do the next clips without Hugo. I believe that if you left Hugo behind, you have to restart from checkpoint. This is a big problem in Coronation as well, but in some other chapters. But not all clips are equally dangerous of leaving Hugo behind. Like there's no particularly dangerous tricks in chapter 2, for instance, where we have lots of dodge clips. I find this forward dodge clip to be a little bit more dangerous because Amisha like lets go of Hugo's hand. There's bigger space between the two of them, so he can get left behind an invisible wall more easily. It's not too bad because the checkpoint is right here. So in any case, again, the forward dodge clip, just dodging and then aiming, moving the camera all the way back, which is I guess a bit more movement, moving right and back and aiming the throw. There it is. As you can see, I've like aimed after Amisha's like landed, so she did a little squat there. If you walk too far on the right there, you will trigger a dialogue from Amisha and Hugo, and they will start talking again, walking again, or going slowly. This is a problem because they won't start running again even later. So if you by mistake trigger this dialogue, I recommend you restart from checkpoint. There's another way to like get them running again, but I feel like he loses more time. In any case, to avoid it, just go straight here up to the other side of the river. Don't go too far, but just go straight instead of going right, even though we have to go there, and then start moving right. You won't trigger the dialogue. So this whole section is like very dangerous. You can fall into the void at any time. So the journey that you have to take is actually kind of precise. Don't walk too far from the path, I guess. So we go on this side of the river, and then behind these trees, in between these trees, and then I am at that tree over there, and we go on the right of that tree, and then towards this direction right here with the two trees. Here we have to fall. You can fall on either side of this big tree, but the ground right there that you can see will like spawn in like a couple seconds. It's not a big of a deal, but I find that if you look at that direction, which is like over to the left, I guess a little bit from where you come from, you will like make it spawn a little bit quicker there, and then just fall in it. Not a big deal. This is the second part. There's another clip right here. So it's not the easiest clip. Unluckily for us, on console, you can just unload some of the geometry like this by stepping here and then just walk fast over there. But on PC, maybe with very low frame rate, it won't load in time, but I haven't found a way to do it. So instead we clip through. Here we can't see it, but there's actually like rocks, invisible wall, and rocks that we have to clip through. There's I guess a couple of ways of doing it. I found that you can either aim at this corner right here. There's like this little section here that is a little bit farther ahead, and here there's a corner. If you aim at this corner, you can clip through, but I haven't found a super consistent setup for it yet. I have found more consistency over on this side, a little bit on the right. there, as I said, I'm not very consistent at it yet. It does save a bunch of time. This whole section does save a bunch of time compared to the other route that I did in my world record, so I recommend you find your own setup. I'll show you a couple that seem to work for me. Afterwards, we just run over on this side of this river. Sometimes you won't have Hugo. It's not important. If Hugo gets stuck behind those invisible wall, it's really not a problem. We don't need him any longer. So don't restart the checkpoint. Just keep going. Even if you don't have Hugo, there's an invisible wall here, so I can't actually walk over there. Just follow the invisible wall over to this trees right here. Then we walk on the right side of them. I'm just telling you the visual references I use. There's this tree with a bush right there. I go around the bush, and then here there's this tree. Don't walk too close to the tree or you will fall into the void. Walk over to this grass. Basically, as you walk into the grass, the lighting will change. If the lighting changes, I found that you're like quote unquote safe to then turn left and start running up this hill, or towards this hill. Here there's a darker bush you can walk through. On console, they actually managed to skip everything, but actually we just walk over here. The checkpoint has been triggered, so you just restart the checkpoint because we are behind an invisible wall. You can restart checkpoint like this, or you can clip in with a dodge clip if you're lucky. It's not like the easiest dodge clip, but I believe you can do it. Reloading checkpoint is just safer, I guess. Here you dodge over this mud and just run over. Oh gosh, over this. If you go into the mud or you start walking slowly, remember that holding throw will make you go faster. Here, leave Hugo behind to get eaten by rats. No, I'm joking. To climb faster. This is the torch section of this chapter. So right now we have to get the torch glitch. Basically, it's a glitch that makes the hitbox, I guess, or the collision of Amicia a little bit confusing or weird. So we are going over here. We're not actually getting a torch, rather a stick, but it's the same thing, just something for Amicia to hold. So we get this stick, we move a little bit just to make sure the glitch is on, and then restart it from checkpoint. We're gonna have Hugo, which is not a problem. I usually run as soon as possible, start aiming my slingshot, call Hugo, get rocks, wait over here. After I see that big pig falling over, I dodge and then hold throw. It's a little bit of optimization, but it doesn't hurt, does it? Here we actually have our collision fucked up, as I said. That makes also dodge clipping easier. I use this bloody pig, I guess, for reference, and just do dodge clip backwards like this towards it. And here there's another invisible wall. It's kind of confusing one, but just aim towards the forest and just do another dodge clip backwards there. There's wonky ass geometry here. You can just walk over through this pile of dead pigs. Here we're just gonna climb over the stone fence like we're not supposed to do. This is actually the reason we need the torch clip. It's the first instance just clipping through a wall thanks to the torch glitch. So this fence wouldn't open. We have to clip through it. As you can see, Amicia and Hugo like doing strange things as I walk near objects. Like they kind of get pushed away from them in a weird way. We're gonna use that to get through this gate. So the way I find that it works is like I stepped on this piece of wood right on the floor, basically start like walking against this gate and holding first forwards and left and then just left. Eventually just clips me through, yeah, as you get like stuck against it. It's very finicky. The inputs are always basically the same, but it's definitely not like the most consistent glitch. In any case, that's how it works. Afterwards, you just run through or walk until we are able to run again. As soon as the lighting changes there, we'll be able to run. It's almost the end of the chapter. Here I grab a couple of resources. They never hurt. And just run at the end of the chapter. So this is a new strat. I haven't implemented it in a run yet, but I hope you do. And see you in chapter 5.